Hey, good afternoon. This is Stefan Hager, Switzerland, and we are reading together a story from the 1st century, 2000 years back, written by a Jew. His name is sadly not mentioned in Mark's Gospel, Marcus Injiil, John Mark, because he was a Jew. A Jew would not write down his own name in a holy book. But in the 14th chapter, we read about him that there was a young man who, when Jesus was arrested, who ran away naked because they took his clothes away, the mob. And I guess this must be Mark. So let's see, chapter 3, Jesus enters in a synagogue and then he goes on the lake, and towards the end he enters a house. Let's see how far we come today. So another time, Jesus went into the synagogue. We read here in verse 1. A man with a weak and twisted hand was there. Some Pharisees were trying to find fault with Jesus. They tried to say, oh, he's doing a mistake. Let's see if he does. They watched him closely. They wanted to see if he would heal the man on a Sabbath day, because they saw him healing many people already, and they were disturbed because they could not heal. Jesus can heal, and he can heal today through you and me. He loves us. He cares for our souls, to save our souls, and also he cares for our bodies, and he wants to heal us. Let's see how they did it. Jesus spoke to the man with the weak and twisted hand. Stand up in front of everyone, he said. Then Jesus asked them, what does the law say we should do on the Sabbath day? Should we do good or should we do evil? What do you think on a Sabbath, where is the holy day of the Jews? Nobody should work, only worship. What do you think on a Sunday when you go to church? What do you think when you go to the mosque on Friday? Should you only go to the mosque and do nothing? Should you do good that day or should you do evil? Jesus asked a simple question. Should we save life, he says, or should we kill? But no one answered. None of them could answer because their hearts were not right. Let's see. Jesus talks to people's hearts. Okay? Let's read on. When Jesus asked, verse 4, what does the law say we should do on the Sabbath day? Should we do good or should we do evil? Should we save life or should we kill? But no one answered. I repeat, people talks to their hearts. Verse 5. Jesus looked around at them in anger. Why was Jesus angry? What do you think? He was very upset because their hearts were stubborn. You know, their hearts were stubborn. It's a beautiful world here God has made for us. Very beautiful, and lots of things in it. We enjoy the good things each and every day. And there's nothing wrong with having coffee and nussgipfel and good things and enjoy life where you are. But should you do good with this, what you have, or should you do evil? Even it's on a free day, I'm just here to enjoy myself. Or is it on a working day? Look. Their hearts were stubborn. He said to them, he said to the man, stretch out your hand. He stretched it out. And his hand was as good as new. Just like a baby. A withered hand. Probably leprosy. I don't know what sickness it was. But it was as good as new. Verse 6. The Pharisees went out and began to make plans with the Herodians. They wanted to kill Jesus. You know why? I think because of jealousy. Because Jesus could do the things they could not do. They could tell people what they were supposed to do by keeping the law. But Jesus came not for the law. He came to help the poor, heal the sick, raise the dead, drive out demons, preach the good news and forgive sins. That's who Jesus is. And he goes on. Off to the Sea of Galilee, verse 7, with his disciples. A large crowd from Galilee followed. People heard about all that Jesus was doing, and many came to him. They came from Judea, Jerusalem, and Idumea. They came from the lands east of the Jordan River, even they came. And they came from the area around Tyre and Sidon, which is direction Lebanon. But look at this now. Because of the crowd, Jesus told his disciples to get a small boat ready for him. This would keep the people from crowding him. Jesus had healed many people. So those who were sick, they were pushing forward to touch him. You know, people were healed. Everyone was healed when Jesus was there. And some, they could not come near him. That's the reason they couldn't get healed. Maybe you and me, we are not going close enough to Jesus, towards his healing power. That's why we don't experience healing. So let's have more faith. Let's encourage each other for faith. Let's draw closer to Jesus. Some people, they will discourage you. Don't believe. This was 2,000 years ago, but not today. Stefan Heger is my name. I'm talking to you from Switzerland, and I'm telling you today that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So let's read on what he did. Because of the crowd, Jesus told his disciples to get to a small boat ready for him. So he tried to get away from the crowd, from the mob. Jesus had healed many people. So those who were sick were pushing forward to touch him. Again, I'm repeating, they were pushing forward to touch Jesus. Let's do the same. Let's see what it says here, verse 11. The people with evil spirits saw him. They fell down in front of him. The spirits shouted, "You are the Son of God," they said. But Jesus ordered them not to tell who he was. Why would he tell them not to tell who he was? Jesus knew he was the Son of God, the Son of Man coming from heaven. What do you think? Let's read on why. He went up on a mountainside. You know, Jesus wanted to be with his Father. God was his Father, his real Father. Although he was in human flesh. But God was his real Father. So he spent time in prayer. He called for certain people to come to him. And they came. He appointed 12 of them. And I called them his apostles. Or Havaria. Or another translation would say disciples. He called people to help him. Helpers. From that time onwards they would be with him. And we have their names in the Bible. And they walked with him around 3 years. They saw the miracles, they did it themselves, and they listened to all what he taught, and they believed it. And later, they evangelized the world, they spread it. He would also send them out to preach. They would have authority to drive out demons. Even the disciples would drive out demons. Will you? Jesus appointed the 12. Simon was one of them. Jesus gave him the name Peter. You know, Mark's Gospel, what we read today, is really Peter's Gospel. John Mark was Peter's disciple later on in Jerusalem in the church. And he wrote down because Peter was less educated. Peter was a good preacher, but he was not a good journalist. So John Mark, we have here, writing the things down. They were James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John. Jesus gave them the name Boanerges. Boanerges means son of thunder. There were also Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew. Matthew is also called Levi. He was the tax collector who wrote the other gospel we read already. Thomas and James, son of Alphaeus. And there was Thaddeus and Simon the Zealot. Judas Iscariot was one of them too. He was the one who was later going to hand Jesus over to his enemies.